Hello my good people, welcome to our channel. This is Wefwafwa Andrew, and today I want to answer some questions that I have received from you, my friends. I have received very many questions, but today I want to handle about two questions. Question number one, I was asked that who are you? I am Wefwafwa Andrew, and I am born from Manafa, one of the districts in eastern Uganda. Uganda is found in East Africa. I am a clinical officer by profession. I studied from Gulu School of Clinical Officers. I have finished, I think I'm about to make 2 years outside. 2 years of practice or experience. So I've not taken very many years outside since I left school. Another question. Another question. Yeah, the question I was asked was like, why do you do community outreaches? Now, you are not the first people to ask me this question. I've been asked by many people actually why I do community outreach, why I go, on the radio and sensitize people. Because I've been doing this for long. Since the time I left the school, I embarked on sensitizing the community. I've been doing this on radios. I've been doing this by going to the communities direct, and then I've been doing this on WhatsApp, and I've also been doing this on YouTube. This is because I have passion for community sensitization, and my passion has been shaped by many things. One is because of what I see in our community. Two, it is because of what I have experienced or what I've gone through while I was growing in my community. And then the third reason is what I was told by my mother that I went through while I was growing. So I think I will start with what I was told that helped to improve my passion. From the very beginning, there was a problem in the knowledge gap from the very beginning of my life. My mother told me that she produced me from someone who just had skills of of conducting deliveries in the village. She didn't go to the hospital while she was producing me. One, because there were no nearby hospitals at that time, and even there were no private clinics at that time. So she produced me from the people we refer to as the TBAs, or traditional birth attendants. And that traditional birth attendant, during that time, she could use unsterile equipment to conduct the deliveries. For example, she told me that they used a dirty razor blade. That means that razor blade, she had used it on other people. So because of that, I got cold sepsis that really affected my life. My mother told me that I almost died due to sepsis because of that thing. So what led to that? First of all, of course, my mother, she lacked knowledge. She lacked knowledge about the dangers of not going to the hospital. And then also the other old lady who conducted the birth also lacked knowledge about the dangers of conducting deliveries from home and, using those unsterile instruments. And another reason that she gave me was like that lady was caring. She could care for the mothers who had gone to deliver, prepare for them something to eat, just talk to them nicely, something that was not common. Because we have a challenge here in Uganda, I don't know in other African countries and wherever you're watching from, but medical personnel tend to be rude most of the times. So they end up scaring people from going to the hospital when they're sick, because in most cases they blame them, they abuse them, and so that discourages very many people from going to the hospital, and they end up producing from home, and some end up self-medicating. So that thing helped me a lot to change the way I deal with people, the way I talk to my patients, and because of that, I have been liked by my patients in these 2 years of working. The people, at least that I have worked with, they end up following me. So that was one of the things that also inspired me to start doing these community outreaches and to start sensitizing the communities generally. Another thing that I was told by my parents is that I had stunted growth. Usually children start standing and walking at around 8-9 months. But for my case, they told me that it took me 2 years to start standing up and walking. This is because I was very weak. And the reason they gave me was that I was ever sick, and also my mother introduced feeds within the first month. She didn't breastfeed me exclusively for 6 months. She introduced the feed. So there was a gap in knowledge as far as nutrition is concerned, because for a baby to grow well, someone should at least breastfeed exclusively for 6 months and then continue breastfeeding and introducing other feeds after 6 months up to something like 2 years. But that didn't happen with me. She introduced the feeds within the first month. This is because she didn't have knowledge about a proper balanced diet for a baby and generally the feeding plan for the baby. So that was also there, and that's why whenever I go to the community, I teach people about the balanced diet, and I also teach people about just these common things like how to take care of your baby, how to take care of the umbilical cord, how to take care of a pregnant mother. All those things I always teach the community because I'm lucky that I didn't die, but there are very many people who are still facing those challenges. There are those people who may not be like me. There are those people who have died. Another thing, I was told that I was a victim of false teeth. Now, when children are growing, usually starting from, I think, the 30 month onwards, the buds for the teeth start coming up, they start like protruding. And also when they are growing, you find that mostly here in Africa, children always suffer from diarrhea, malaria, and those other illnesses that tend to bring fever. So during that time is when also the birds are coming up, mostly those ones for the canines, those birds that show that the teeth will grow there, they start coming up. So there is this belief that is spread across Uganda, the belief of false teeth. So when people see those birds growing, and maybe when a child also has fever or diarrhea, they link the diarrhea and fever to that belief. They believe that those birds of the growing teeth are the ones that are causing diarrhea and those fevers. So usually they could go to some people in the village. There are those people who are known of removing those false teeth. They term them false teeth. In Uganda, they call them ebinyo. So what happens is they believe that if they remove that bud that is growing, the fever and diarrhea will stop. And now the challenge is these people use unsterile equipment like, rusted nails and other things. So they go and, they remove that bud. So they damage it. At the end of the day, they end up introducing infection in the gum of a baby. So that happened to me as well. While I was growing up, of course, I had those fevers and my parents thought that the false teeth are the ones that are, that are causing that problem. So they took me to that guy in the village, and he removed them. He damaged the buds, but thank God, I think those were the buds for the primary teeth, so they didn't affect the secondary one. But then they introduced infection into my gum, and that infection caused anemia, and I was very sick. My mother told me that I was unconscious, I think for something like 1 to 2 days. One time, if I get a chance of bringing her here, she will be able to tell us what happened. But I was very sick due to that. So whenever I get a chance of teaching the community, I teach them against the practice of extracting those bad or false teeth. So I do this on the radio or just whenever I get any chance of interacting with people. So that is about what I was told. Now, allow me to talk about some things or challenges that I have passed through in life that encouraged me to begin doing community outreach and then also to become a medical personnel. Now, I have passed through a lot of challenges, just like all of you have, but there are some medical related challenges that I wanted to share. For example, I have been in situations where I was sick, but I could not afford medical care, or my parents could not take me to the clinic, so they could just, buy medicine, not because they wanted to do self-medication, but because they didn't have money to take me to the hospital. So you could maybe have malaria and suffer with it like for over 3 weeks, when you're swallowing some tablets, not even completing the dose, and you are swallowing that have not tasted, so I could be sick for a very long time. You experience all the signs of malaria, and so that challenged me a lot. I wanted to become a medical personnel, not just because I wanted, to accumulate money, but also to be able to afford medical care and to be able to, support my family if they are sick, and also to support some people in the community who are sick. At least if I can test them for free, if I can just give them knowledge that you need to go and do, and do this for free, that could help. I passed through situations where you could have a wound for over, a month, just cleaning it from home, having swollen lymph nodes for a long time. Lymph nodes always get swollen when you have an infection. This is because the body's immune system, collects those pathogens in the lymph nodes and it fights them from there. So I have passed through that, having a wound with swollen lymph nodes, pain for a long time. That's why I want to do something within my reach to help all the people who are passing through this same situation. I think that answers the question that have been asked by many people on this channel, and then also my friends while we were at school. As I was trying to do YouTube, they could ask me, now, how are you going to benefit from this? You're wasting time on media. And then another thing is whenever I could go to the radio, very many people used to ask me that, how are you benefiting? Is the radio station paying you? I could say no. Who is paying you? Who is sponsoring you to do this? People have that mind of wanting money all the time. But because of what I have gone through, I just want to do something that can help all the people who are passing through the same situation that I have gone through. So that is the reason as why I still do this, and that's the reason as why I will continue sensitizing people, helping people wherever I can as long as I live, because I have seen it all, and God saved me, not because I had whatever I needed, not because my parents had money, but because God maybe wanted me to do what I'm doing. And that's why my mission is sharing knowledge to save lives. Yes, that is what I want to do. I get satisfied when I do that. I feel good when I do that. I don't get tired. It's what I enjoy. Even if I'm not paid, even if I'm not, supported by anyone, I just feel like doing it. It satisfies me. I feel good about it. So that is all about what I went through that has shaped my passion. Another thing that has shaped my passion is what is happening in our community right now. Those challenges that I faced, people are still facing them up to today. And that's why I do community sensitization up to now. As you have seen in the videos that I uploaded and that I'm still going to upload, you see that people in the community are facing a lot of challenges. Now, the communities that I have moved to so far, these are communities that are somehow doing well. But there are those communities that I have not reached, but that I believe with time, if God provides, and we get the means of transport and other things, I will be able to reach more people. There are people who are suffering. I just want to reach them. I just want to go and empower them. And now, somebody asked me that, what is your next plan? My plan is still to sensitize the community. I just want to expand this program. Yes, I've been going to the radio stations, but the time that I'm given on the radio stations is not enough. I want to be given at least a program per week. Every week, if I can have 2 programs, one in the local language and one in English. This is because in our region, we have, I think, the radio stations that I use, they can reach, I think, over 2 million people, but there are different languages. So you can use a local language, and then also you can use English to, to cover at least most of them. So I want to start doing this on the regular basis. I want to get enough money, because I usually go to the radio station when I have some money, and also when they offer me a free slot. So I want to expand that, and I want to be doing that on regular basis. So that is my plan. Then another thing is, we are looking forward to acquiring a motorcycle that will be able to enable us move to far places. We have been facing a challenge of rain, but that is not a big challenge. We could not think of getting a vehicle, though we need it, but right now it cannot be as important as a motorcycle, because where we go in those villages, you may reach a place where you don't have even a road where a vehicle can pass. So I think a motorcycle can help us reach those places that a vehicle cannot reach. So another thing is, I am looking forward to increasing our seedlings. We've been buying seedlings, but my plan is to acquire a piece of land, at least by next year. If next year I can get a piece of land where I will be growing different seedlings. I will work with the people who are in Department of Agriculture, and they help me to grow different seedlings, such that we shall use that place for training people, and also we shall use that place to get enough seedlings so that we shall not be buying next year, and then we take them to the community. So that is also my plan. Another plan is to set up some simple health facilities in villages or different communities, where people can go to and measure their blood pressure, where they can go and get the resources, where they can go and get knowledge. So I want to establish those points in this country. So that is also on my plans. And with time, I just want to build this whole thing, and we get maybe offices that conduct these activities in every district in Uganda, and from there we shall move to Africa, and then we shall spread to the whole world. So I will only rest when I see that the world is covered with these things that I am doing. I want to have a changed society. where people can support themselves. So that is all for today. I will continue answering many questions. There is a question I was asked that are you married and and many things. Yeah, but I'm not married. But I will share details with time. I wanted to talk about things that are very important. So thank you very much for watching. I love you all. Peace.